Next, let's go from the second speaker chain into the podium. Alright guys, just a simple tap on the table. A simple tap on the table is more than fine. So proceed when he is ready.
Wait.
Okay. No.
안 찍어줘요.
Okay.
In the status quo, the government was not even able to identify the stakeholders and cost to obesity, stating that it is preventable. However, according to Harvard, 20 to 30% of obesity patients are ill due to genetic reasons. Moreover, 39% of course are obese. This will likely be 10% of the whole American population who are abandoned by a government side. Now, as the second speaker on the negative side in today's debate, I want to present our team's last argument, which is that obesity is not their fault. Before building our team's case, I will review the key points brought to us by the previous speaker in the debate. The start argument presented by the previous speaker was individual responsibility. However, this is wrong as 20 to 30% of patients are genetically obese and it is not preventable. If obese citizens are poor, it has a high possibility that these poor cannot get a treatment without national health care. This is definitely not a legitimate state which provides basic needs to every citizen. And therefore, their argument on individual responsibility does not stand in today's debate. Before moving on to my own argument, I want to reveal the arguments of our first speaker. His first argument was it worsens health. In addition to this, I would like to add that the negative side's argument is that obesity is the initial step of dangerous disease. Therefore, we don't have to only waste our budget. However, please be reminded that eliminating the risk in the first place is cheaper and safer for American citizens. There's open possibility that obesity can lead to fatal diseases which cost more and create more danger.
Sure.
Isn't it the basic government's responsibility? Yes.
They could easily prevent obesity in their daily lives just by eating better foods and vegetables. But why does government have to come in when it's not as fatal as other diseases such as cancer?
What have I just said? I said that there are 39% of poors who are obese just because they cannot eat expensive, high-quality foods like lettuce, as the previous speaker mentioned.
Sorry.
Isn't it the basic government's responsibility to save a human being, and it's a duty for taxpayers to decrease the national healthcare cost? Now, the previous speaker rebutted this argument stating that it is the individual's responsibility. However, to counter this rebuttal, I mentioned this in Hook and the rebuttal that there are vast cases that obesity is not preventable. And now I would like to extend our team's second argument, which was government's responsibility, which was regarding that the obesity patients has a right to access to medicine and treatment. They are also the taxpayers, and the affirmative side is stating that the majority of taxpayers does not need to pay for obesity. Then why should the obesity patients pay also for nothing when they cannot even get a proper treatment from the government? Now, this was rebutted by saying that social contract theory does not help the situation. However, this rebuttal is wrong, as social contraction theory is one of the fundamental principles of the government. Therefore, all of our argument clearly stands in today's debate. Our team's third argument is that the obesity patients are not ill by their fault. However, there are two cases where patients cannot prevent obesity. First, there are genetically obese citizens. These people are overweight even though they eat the same and exercise the same as the normal citizens. How is this preventable? Yes.
But according to Harvard, the obesity due to genetic problems is only 25%. What do you think of that?
However, as the Prime Minister mentioned, that there are 50% of our American population who are obese, and 20 to 30% might not seem very vast. However, it is like almost 10% of the whole American population, which is abandoned by the negative status quo. these people are overweight, even though they eat the same and exercise the same as the normal citizens. How is this preventable when the endeavor of patients doesn't matter on the rate? We admit that there are people who consistently eat fast food and become obese. However, these people are innocent, and if the government is blaming them when obviously they don't have any fault or did any irresponsible actions, these citizens are just like COVID-19 patients who desperately need government's help. According to the U.S. Constitution, the government should help the patients, and it only seems to the negative side that government is breaching the law, not doing the potential economic harms. The second case is low-income families. According to UNICEF, the developing nations which generally have low income is more likely to be obese. With same logic, the poor in the U.S. are more likely to be obese since they can only afford junk food with the amount of money they have. They cannot have the healthiest food as normal citizens can do. According to health research, $2,000 are spent more for healthy food, which is astronomical amount of money for the poor. Now, what has government done for them? They probably got education, but did the government take real actions like supporting them with money? Now, they are only harming them and discriminating the social minority. In conclusion, Judge, what have I told you in my speech? Which I have successfully rebutted the previous speaker's third argument, which was individual responsibility, by stating the equality gap between the rich and the poor. Also, I have rebuilt our first and second argument, which was worsens health and second government's responsibility. As aforementioned, I have shown they clearly still stand in today's debate. I have also presented our team's third argument, which was that obesity patients are not guilty regarding the importance of social minority. Thank you.
Thank you. The speaker spoke for 6 minutes and 16 seconds.